All right, Google Ads for criminal defense attorneys. I'm going to show you guys exactly how we are generating, consistently generating high quality exclusive phone calls from leads that actually have cases calling you directly. And so, in one of my clients' ad account here, we have spent close to $1 million. So, we have a ton of data on what's working, what's not working. I'm going to share with you guys exactly how you can start generating cases without, running these social media ads where you're getting cheap leads that aren't picking up the phone and you're having to spend all your time on following up with these people that aren't converting into cases. Or maybe you're doing SEO that is taking forever to get you ranked on Google. And even then, Google can just change their algorithm anytime and you have to re-rank all over again. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to consistently generate new cases for your firm by using a simple Google Ads campaign. Okay. So as you can see here inside our ad account here, this specific attorney does both family and criminal defense, but specifically, I'm gonna focus more on the criminal defense. And then in a separate video, we'll talk about family divorce type cases and stuff like that. But in this video here, so let's go ahead and go into our criminal campaign. Okay, so all the time, we spent about close to 300,000. But just to make things a little bit more simpler, we're going to check out the last 30 days. Okay. So on right now, this client is currently spending about $10,000 per month on the criminal campaign. Okay. So as you can see here, we got 358 clicks. It says 50 conversions, 14% conversion rate, and spent close to 10,000. Now, the thing with Google is that it doesn't track data as accurately as you think. Okay. So that's why we have third-party tracking softwares. And that way we're able to, track the amount of calls coming in and know what our true numbers are, what our true conversion rate is. So I'm gonna show you guys how to get a high conversion rate, okay? And what high means is just over 20%. Anything over 20% is what we strive for. And then industry standard, you're gonna be anywhere between 8 to 12%. And then on the high end, you're probably sitting at 15%. And why is that important? Okay, so why is that important? So let's say you are converting at 10%, your campaign conversion rate is 10%. If we can get a conversion rate at 20%, that means you would have doubled the amount of leads for the same amount that you had spent on the ads. Okay, so you're not having to spend more. And just with this system alone, you can double the amount of leads. All right. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that, and then as well as making sure that you're generating quality leads and not leads that are calling in outside for outside your practice area, or maybe calling in from different areas that aren't in your service areas. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that. Okay. So these numbers may be inaccurate, and I'm gonna show you guys what we've been able to do. Okay. So here is our call rail dashboard. Last 30 days, we've generated close to 170 calls, but more specifically, let's focus on our criminal calls. Okay. So last 30 days, we generated a little bit over 100 calls. So for the unique calls, we've generated 88 calls in the last 30 days. Okay, so what are our true numbers here? Well, if we take 358 clicks and we divide that by our 88 calls that we've been able to generate, these are new leads that are coming in. 88, divide that by 358. That's going to give us a 24.5% conversion rate. So close to 25%, pretty much 25% conversion rate, which is almost a double what is Google is saying. So what that means is that not only do we have a really good conversion rate sitting at 25%, but we're exceeded that 20% conversion rate, which is what we strive for. Okay, so you need to get your campaign to be above 20%. If it's not, that means you got to fix the issue, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. And then we spent close to 10,000 here, so we spent 9,478. Divide that by the 88 leads that we've been able to generate, and that gives us $107 per lead. So that gives us our cost per lead. So for each lead that comes in, calling for about a case, a criminal case that they have, we are paying about $107. Now this client is located in New York, so pretty big market, pretty competitive, and we're still able to achieve these awesome numbers. Okay, and that's how we've been able to really scale up his firm, and now we're spending a lot across his multiple campaigns. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, putting together a campaign is very simple. Anyone can put together a campaign. We're very straightforward. We have a criminal campaign that targets, general criminal defense and DUI cases. Okay. So if you are targeting one of those cases, or I guess general criminal offense, and then if you want to specifically target DUI or even more specific than that, then that's the ad group that you would want to create for your ad campaign. Okay, so that's very simple. I'm gonna just go into campaigns here. I'm not gonna go into the nitty and gritty just because I don't want to, share the exact keywords and the ad copy that we use. We just don't want everyone using the same thing. Otherwise, it's just not gonna be as effective anymore. Okay, so put together your campaign. It's very simple, very straightforward to do. Now, in order to put together a converting campaign, what you want to do is run a search campaign. Okay, so if you don't know how to do that, just click on create campaign, new campaign, and what we want to do is click on leads and then we can hit continue, but what you want to do is run a search campaign, okay? A lot of times what Google is going to do is they want you to run some sort of smart campaign. So what is the difference between smart campaign and a search campaign? A lot of times for, I'd say about 80 to 85% of business owners, they make the mistake of running a smart campaign. And what that is that you're allowing Google to be in control of your ads. And so when Google is in control of your ads, they're one of the most profitable businesses in the world. And their goal is to get their advertisers to spend the most amount possible on their platform. So if you ever spoke with a Google rep that try to make changes for you or try to guide you on setting things up, then their goal is to get you to spend the most on their platforms, right? That's literally the goal of Google reps and Google recommendations or anything, okay? Their goal is to get you to spend the most amount on their platform. And we don't want to do that. We want to be in control of our ads, all right? So I'm going to go into campaigns here. Make sure you run a search campaign, and I'm going to click on settings. So inside our settings, you can literally just copy the same exact settings for your campaign, and you should have a good campaign set up. But essentially, we are running, a leads campaign. We're here to generate leads. For networks, you want to turn off both search and display network. When you're setting up your campaign, these are already going to be checked, and Google does a lot of sneaky things to get you to spend the most on their platform. So we don't want those turned on. For locations here, we want to target the exact areas. So, what areas you are servicing, just go ahead and target those areas. And then, very important that we only want to target that are people in or regularly in our included locations. So, we only want our ads showing up to people that are in our location. Now, you might be thinking, Jordan, what if someone in Los Angeles is looking to call to help their kids or their parents that who have a criminal case here in New York, right? And that may be true, but we are spending top dollar here for premium quality leads. And so we want to spend that money on high quality leads that are going to turn into cases for our business. So we want to tell Google that we only want to spend our money on high intent leads who are going to convert. Okay. So we want to spend money on our most intent ideal customers and to get those cases. Okay. So this isn't where we're running, social media ads anymore, where we're getting low quality leads. We have to chase them. We're getting information that doesn't go anywhere, right? These are people that are calling you directly who have a case and they need help. Okay. So people in or regularly in your included location. For our bidding strategy here, so bidding strategy, we use max conversion personally because we have so much data already. Now, when you're first starting out, you'll have a couple of options, or you're only gonna have, the max clicks conversions here. And when you're first starting a campaign, you're likely that you don't have that much data yet to tell Google to go out there and get what it is that you want. Okay. So for example, if you're running a new campaign and obviously you want more phone call leads coming in and you tell Google to go out there and get you as many conversions as possible, Google doesn't know what your cost per lead is. Google doesn't know what is a conversion for your business is yet. So in the beginning, the performance might be inconsistent. You might be overspending for clicks. You might be spending more than what you should be just because you don't have data on your ad account yet. Now, obviously, for this ad account, we spent close to $1 million. We have a very consistent performance track record where we know, for the amount spent on our budget, we know exactly what our cost per lead is. So we know how many leads are coming in on a monthly basis, right? So things become very predictable once we have data coming in. And then we can always make adjustments to our budget to meet our goals. So if we know our cost per lead is $107 and we want, 100 leads, 200 leads a month, we would just take that goal and multiply that by the 107, cost per lead. So $107 times X amount of leads that we want, that's going to give us our monthly budget. Okay. So in the beginning, Google does a really good job of trying to get you to just use smart bidding strategy, and that's because they want to be in control of your ads. But what we do when we first start out is, and you can only really find it somewhere around here, Google does a really good job of hiding it. And it looks like they don't even give us the option here right now. But oh, here it is. So what we like to do when we first start out is we like to use manual CPC. What manual CPC means is that we are in control of how much we spend per click. So that way Google doesn't go too crazy with, our budget, okay? Because their goal is to spend the most amount that they possibly can. So when we do manual CPC, we are telling Google, hey, we are only willing to pay, $50 or $50 per click. Okay, whatever makes the most sense. Okay. Otherwise, Google is going to start spending $150, $300 for one single click because it thinks that it's going to get you a lead. Now, like I said, if you don't have data on what a lead is yet for your ad account, it's not going to be consistent until over time. Okay. So when we first start out, we like to go with manual CPC. That's going to help us be in control of our ads more. And then once you have data coming in that is consistent, um, we'll switch over to a automated bidding strategy, and we tell Google, hey, here's our data. We know what our cost per lead is. So in this case, maximize conversions. And then we can tell Google to go out there and find us more leads for that cost. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions or anything, or you need help with setting this up, there's a link in the description. You can book a strategy call with me or my team, and we can definitely help you guys out with this. All right. So without showing the keywords and ad copy, this is pretty much like the most important part here. Now, the other thing is having an extensive negative keywords list. Okay. So for a lot of you guys who are running ads, this is one of the first places that I check. I've audited, a lot of business ad accounts, and what we do is we take a look at the negative keywords list here, and they might only have like 10, 20 negative keywords. Okay, and as you can see here, our extensive list, we have close to 5,500 negative keywords. Okay, so what that means is that we're filtering out search terms. Like when someone is searching up who is OJ Simpson's lawyer, we don't want our ads showing up for that. Okay, we don't want our ads showing up for people who are searching up random things that aren't going to hire us for their services. Okay. So for any information, do it yourself, educational stuff like that, we don't want our ads showing up. We only want our ads showing up to people who have real cases, and then call us directly for a consultation, and that way we can book them in. Okay. So we have an extensive list. I've seen all types of search terms come through, and this is where we get our negative keywords list from. Okay, so we're constantly getting a bunch of data. Just people are searching for things every day, and then we add that into our negative keywords list. So, for example, if someone searches up DUI lawyer doc or something, or MP3 or MP4 or school or courses, YouTube, Home Depot, whatever the case may be, our ad is not going to show up. So that's how we clean our traffic. And we're spending our money on quality clicks, quality traffic, and that's going to lead us to new cases. All right. So really important that you have an extensive list of negative search keywords. If you don't, you can probably just Google it, ask ChatGPT. But we just have a lot of data, close to $1 million, as you could tell. And then we just add all those search terms that we're getting into our negative keywords list. And that's how we clean out our search traffic. And that's how we filter out the bad clicks and keeping our, quality of leads clean. So if you ever get calls that are outside your practice areas, maybe calling for a different law firm all the time, calling from, different states, different, outside of your service areas, then this is one of the places that I would look at. I would start adding those into the native search keywords. Okay, so that's how we filter out the quality of the traffic. Now, lastly, I want to go over is how do we boost our conversion rate? How do we get our conversion rate to go from, 10% or anything below 20%? And how do we get that to hit 20% or above? Okay. So a lot of times we strive for 20% and higher. That's where we're normally at. And then if we have a good campaign going on, depending on the area that we're targeting, things like that, we've seen 30% and all the way up to 40% conversion rate. Okay. So that means if you're converting at 10%, we could literally double, triple, or even quadruple the amount of leads generated for the same amount of cost that you're spending. Okay. So you're not spending anything more and you're able to double to quadruple the amount of leads. Now, how do we do that? We need to focus on your high converting landing page. Okay. Anyone can put together a website or a landing page, but we got to make sure that it is high converting, meaning we got to convert that visitor into a lead for our business. So I searched up criminal defense attorney near me for this example, and we're going to take a look at all of the people that are running ads. Okay, so everyone that's sponsored are running ads, and as you can see here, Google screened. This is just Google LSA, local service ads. It's still Google, but a different service per se, okay, platform, and that's Google LSA. So you're not gonna get a whole lot of volume for here, just because as you can see, they only show two, and then they kind of rotate that with other law firms, and unless you have a lot of reviews, you're not gonna get a lot of volume. Okay, still great to have to generate leads, great source, but if you want to generate volume, high volume, we need to be running some sort of search ads, and then bid accordingly to make sure that we are showing up at the top of the page on Google. Okay. So it's not going to take, it shouldn't take you guys a lot of time to generate calls right away when you have this set up properly, because we're showing up at the top of the page on Google already. So first two there, and then the rest are going to be down here. We have one, two, and three. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at each person's page here. So this right here is a typical website. That is what 85% of business owners are doing when they're running ads, some sort of paid ads. They're sending the traffic to their, beautiful created website that they might have spent tens of thousands of dollars on. But a website is not designed to convert paid traffic into leads for your business. I'm gonna tell you guys why in a second here. And this is created by Scorpion. Of course, Scorpion is a big marketing company, and a lot of our clients have worked with Scorpion, and uh, we all know how that goes. So here we have a landing page, but this isn't a great example of a high converting landing page. Okay. A lot of people have watched my Google Ads video, and I talk about landing pages all the time, that I'm starting to see more people create landing pages, but they're just not high converting landing pages. Okay. So hopefully we can find one here that's a good example of that. Here is another example of website slash landing page. Here is just a website, right? Just a lot of information and external links. Okay. So uh, none of these are great examples of high converting landing pages, but at least we'll learn what not to do. Okay. So why aren't these pages converting well? Now, you might be saying, hey, these pages look really nice, right? Like this is a great website. This is a great looking website, but these pages are going to convert at your typical 12 to 15% that you're accustomed to. Okay. Now, the reason for that is because websites have a lot of distractions, a lot of external things happening. Like you can check out for this example, we can check out their team. We could look at the areas they serve, their results, their reviews, their blogs, and just a lot of information. We can go click on their Facebook, their Instagram, and it's also managed by Scorpion. So that's the other thing too, is that when you are working with these big marketing companies like Scorpion, the thing is that they work with so many clients and same clients in the same area, where there's a conflict of interest, right? I mean, how can you run one campaign for four different clients in the same area? Essentially, you guys are just competing against each other under the same one marketing company. And then that's going to drive up the cost. And it's hard to stand out as a business because you're going to look and sound like, the other clients that they're working with. So it's very hard to actually convert, okay? Especially when they have the same campaign set up for all of their clients, all right? But going back to the high converting landing page here, there's too much distractions going on. So people who are searching for things on the internet have the attention span of a goldfish. Okay, so that means you have about 7 seconds to convert that visitor into a lead for your business. And your page takes about 2 to 3 seconds to actually load. So, what does that mean? That means we only have about 4 to 5 seconds to convert that visitor into a lead for your business. So, if we know that we only have 4 to 5 seconds to get that visitor to either call us or give us their information, fill out the contact form, then we don't want them navigating around our website. We don't want them reading things. We don't want to educate them. We don't want to for them to watch us dance on TikTok or give out free information on Instagram and Facebook. We don't want to do any of that, okay? And I get that it's all important for a website, not for paid traffic. Paid traffic, we only want to convert them into a lead. Okay, so we only want them to either call us or fill out a contact form. So what does that look like? High converting landing page is going to be very simple, very straightforward. It's one page, right? And it gives just the right amount of information to get the person to either call them for a free consultation or fill out a contact form. But there are no external links. They cannot click on resources, blogs. They cannot navigate around. They can't talk to live chat. They're not going to social medias or anything like that. Okay. And that's going to convert a lot better. So this is an example of a landing page. It's just not built the best, but hopefully if it's converting well for this person, then that's great. But obviously you can always make improvements. Okay. So I'm gonna use this example as a high converting landing page. Okay. So obviously we're broken up into sections. The page isn't long, it's short, it's straight to the point. Here's what they do, how they can help, 90% success rate. And the only thing that we can do on this page is either call them or fill out the contact form. And that's how we convert leads. But there's no um, external links, right? We can't learn more about this person by clicking around and stuff like that. And the reason why we need to do that is because a website is nothing's wrong with the website. A website is more for informational purposes. Okay. So if someone wants to research you, learn more about you, or compare you, then send them to your website and they can do that. But when we are running paid ads, we don't want them to learn about us. Okay. We want them to just call us and book them in. They're a cold lead, right? We only want them to send them to a landing page, call us, or fill out a form. And that's what we've been doing. And that's how we get our cost per lead down to about $100 per lead for high converting leads. Okay. Leads are calling in with actual cases. And the reason we do that is not only do we have the campaign set up properly, we have call tracking set up properly, but we also have built a high converting landing page that is converting, that's worked for our clients. Okay. So that's pretty much how we do that. As you can see, all these are other our websites, and they're probably averaging the 12 to 15% mark. And just all of these guys as well, they're all by Scorpion too. And it just so happens that they're all running ads except for this person and this person. So one, two, three, this person the same, this person is a different, but they're all by Scorpion. So Scorpion is running ads for 4 different law firms here in the same area, targeting the same places, and they're all showing up on the same first page, right? And they're all essentially competing against each other. How can you stand out? How can you convert better if your campaign looks like everybody else under this marketing company? Okay. So if you need help setting this up, if you want us to literally just plug the same exact system that's already working for our client that spent close to $1 million, then book a call, book a free strategy call with me and my team. We can literally help see where your goals are, plug in that same exact system, and get you results, get you phone calls within that same week. You literally get to skip all the guesswork and all that stuff because we already have a proven method. It's already working. So we would literally just plug in that same system for you, and you'll start seeing new cases, new phone calls come in within that same week. All right. So my name is Jordan, and I will see you guys in the next video.